Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to all the Muslims listening, and may Allah guide all the Christians, Jews, pagans who might be listening. Yeah.
How does Allah guide people? Let's see, by allowing their books to be corrupted, allowing them to be possessed by demons, like what happened to Muhammad, and even allowing the verses Muhammad gave of the Quran possessed by demons to get into the Quran and saying, oh, he'll just take them out later. Yet where's the gaps in the Quran in those verses? Moreover, how does a leg guide people? According to 68:42 of the Quran, Allah is just a leg, that his shin will be laid bare, and you will all bow down to it. So how does a leg guide people? And you might say, well, he has a full body, but it's not how we know it. Okay, so is the leg of Allah attached to his butt? Muslims say no to this. So the Quran admits that Allah has hands and eyes and a leg, but no body. So you rejected Jesus, God, coming to us as a man, when all along your God is just a leg? Alright.
James, your problem is that you couldn't answer my question. I asked you to give me a secular law from the Prophet's time, not of this time, or a biblical law that the Prophet Muhammad broke. That's all I asked you to do.
I gave you 5 or 6 biblical laws, and I gave you a tradition of the Bedouin, which was part of their custom, not to kiss little boys. And they were against Muhammad doing that, saying, you and your followers kiss little boys? We don't do that. This is not natural to us. This is not anything good. And so they were against it.
Please give me that secular law, biblical law. You made 9 videos to reply to 2 of mine. I see that.
Yes, because in your second response video, you avoided the question that you asked us to answer when I answered you, and you diverted the topic onto the Bible, and you brought up about 5 or 6 points from the Bible, and it took time to go through each one and answer them.
As an epic defeat for you. So please, stay on this subject of Aisha.
You're the one who diverted from the subject of Aisha. You asked and challenged to bring older sources saying that molesting children is wrong. You're somehow defending the molestation of children, saying it's okay, and that our modern law can't go and judge him in the past. So what I did was went to even older laws before Muhammad, showing that they knew it was wrong, and judging him based on that. Especially if you're going to teach that he's a prophet of God. So let's see what the Word of God, for me which is the Bible, has to say about that, and whether that constitute him as a prophet or not. So let's go with you. You want to believe that the Bible is corrupted. And somehow Satan was able to screw over your God Allah and corrupt his books. Okay, fine. So we have a corrupted law that is still better than your God Allah's laws? So the infidel corruption of Satan has better morality than your God? Isn't that strange? Do you see your hypocrisy? You're trying to divert. You're blaming me for diverting the topic when it was you yourself who diverted the topic.
Do everything you can because you know you have no argument. It takes me a minute to respond to all 9 of your videos because you try to divert attention away from the original subject. Because you can't win. Give me a secular or religious law that was broken.
I did. Maybe you didn't watch my videos, or you were busy praying while it was going on, but you missed out on it. Again, you brought up Romans 3 verse 7. I already answered you that. If you actually read the 2 verses before Romans 3 verse 7 and 2 verses after, you would see that he is talking about an argument that the people in Rome used against him, saying that if our lies bring out God's righteousness, can't we lie to bring out his goodness? And he said, may their judgment, may their condemnation be deserved. May they be judged for that, that is evil, that is wrong, for them to teach that is evil. Go back and read it. And this proves you are no Christian either, because at least a Christian would know that. You're just getting this off that kid answering Islam's website, and who doesn't know the Bible, and you yourself never knew the Bible. You were no Christian. And just, it's funny how you said that that the representation of Islamic countries is due to colonialism. I say no, it's the fact that they're in such a garbage state is because they follow Islamic laws. So let me get this straight. You want me to convert to your religion when the infidels are able to screw with God's people or Allah's people that he can't even protect them? Okay. What about the fact that I would have to believe that around every bend, Allah gets screwed by Satan every single time, and he does nothing. In fact, Allah even made it look and appear as if Jesus was on the cross, meaning he caused Christianity to start up, and he's going to somehow send Christians to hell because they believe Jesus was crucified? Because 600 years later, he suddenly decided to guide everybody back? Oh yeah, real smart. I already answered you on Luke 14:26, how he is saying, how later on if you read in Luke, I think it's 21 or 22, he says that even your family members will persecute you and hate you. So he's saying to put God first. And even if you read in the verse right after that it's talking about to put God in front of your family because they will hate you. So don't put their love in the way. And many, many people face this, especially people who leave Islam and come to Christ and come into the presence of the living God, is that their family doesn't speak to them. Their family says, "You're dead to me," and in many cases actually does kill their own children because of this. And so he's saying, don't let your family interfere with God's worship. If they're going to hate you for it, okay, you don't need to love them. You can respect them and you can honor them, but you don't need to put their commands to worship idols above them. And you yourself even said this. You hypocrite. Yeah, you said you've put it up for more than a year, but here's the thing. When people answer you, you don't answer them back. You divert the subject. So maybe people have posted other video responses to you and realized you don't listen. And so they just gave up on you, as I'm about to do. Okay, and what? Okay, the Quran also says that Allah trusted the Torah with the Jews. So your God trusted his book, his life-giving salvation to people who would corrupt it. Meaning he permitted that to happen. Like the best answer Muslims give is, well, Allah was testing them. Okay, why do you test people with your word? Wouldn't you test them with something else? Why are you going to test them with your word, with the most important thing that God has for the world? That doesn't even make sense. And look at his video response. All he is doing is attacking my character in it, saying either he works for a Christian, he's an employee of a church. So what if I am? Is that a problem? According to your own Quran even, Muhammad was saying to his people, you have to pay him or Allah will not hear their prayers. So say I was working for a church, is that a problem? Or you're saying I live in my mom's basement. Yeah, I'm young and I do. What's the point? So what you're trying to do is divert the subject. It's all over. And here's your hypocrisy. You say, well, I can't judge Islamic countries, yet you judge Christianity by America. You say, oh, well, not all Muslims are true Muslims. But then you say, well, let's point at these groups of Christians and say this is Christianity. Hypocrite of the highest order. And I would recommend you stop making these stupid responses before you get exposed even harder.